Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a N8N email verification backend so you don't have to configure any sort of JSON or API tokens or anything like that inside of your workflows. You just need to send a query to this webhook that I'm going to show you how to set up with the email, and it's going to do the exact same thing every single time, and you can send back whatever data you want. So in terms of email verifications, I use Bouncer now. Instantly is really good at email verification. It may be a bit better than Use Bouncer, and we may change this over. The nice thing about this backend is it can basically be used with any sort of email verification, but right now I'm just using Use Bouncer. So what you want to do is just grab your API key. Obviously you need some tokens. It's $8 for 1,000 verifications, so again, super cheap. And if we just come over to the docs, the endpoint that we want to use is just whatever their single verification is. So if we go to API reference, we have this real-time verifying email. We just have this curl request, so you'll just want to copy this. This is what mine looks like. Obviously I have my API key replaced, but I'm just going to show you with a new workflow. If I was to go to HTTP, I'm going to import this curl here, and then you can obviously see we need to change out this header, and then we need to click on query parameters, add this email query, because I already knew that, but you can see here, you don't need to worry about any sort of this timeout stuff. It doesn't really matter, but what we want to do is just add an email here and add our API key. So I'm just going to copy this and then see if I can hide that. Nope. All right, that's interesting. So once you have your API key in here, what you're going to want to do is just put in an email. So for this, I can just do this here. I'll do this email. And if we try it, you can see we have a status deliverable. But what's nice about this is because sometimes when you're setting up the workflows, you don't want to have to go through this endpoint and then think, okay, is this docs here, or what headers do I need, what query parameters? Every single time, the webhook just needs to receive a query. Let me show you how to set this up. So let's say we're sending from this scenario. We're just going to make this a GET request. So I'm going to add a webhook here. So webhook, HTTP method is going to be GET. I'm going to copy this URL. We're going to change this to using respond to webhook. And then I'm going to add a respond to webhook node. So this is essentially just going to wait until this is finished processing. Now, you can get back all this data if you want, but I mean, the only thing you really need is kind of like this status. Is it deliverable? Is it undeliverable? And then you can go from there with whatever logic you're using. So we just want to copy this test webhook URL for now. And then I'm going to click on send query parameters. I'm going to say email. We're going to pass the same thing through here, pauldrager57@gmail.com. If I test for this event, this is going to get an error because we're using the respond to webhook node, but it's just to get test data in there. So invalid JSON, obviously. But you can see here under query, we have email. All we have to do now is feed in this query to here in this value. So this is just going to pass to Use Bouncer the email from here, whatever automation or scenario you're working on, or agent, whatever. I'm just going to rename this to send email to Use Bouncer. And then if I pen this data and test this step just to show you it works, it's going to go ahead and verify this email. Boom, it's deliverable. And then I'm just going to change this to JSON. I'm going to name this field status. And then for the value, I'm going to change this to expression real quick. I'm just going to put in the status of the email. So if we go ahead and unpin this data and activate this scenario, this is so we can use the production URL. We go to production URL and copy it, Control S, make sure everything's saved, and then replace the URL here. And I click on execute step. You can see I don't have to click on execute workflow, and we get back status is deliverable. So if you have a big Google sheet of emails, or you're running this throughout multiple scenarios, just note down this webhook somewhere, or you can come into here and just be like, okay, boom, I just need to send a query to this webhook, and I'm going to get back if the email is deliverable or not. This is super useful. You can also do a bunch of data manipulation if you just break these things up. This way you don't have to Like, it's really useful. We have another backend that finds people via server, so we don't have to like set up all of that logic inside of one workflow. I know some people like to have these massive N8N workflows and stuff. It's not really practical, but if you just have these backends set up, I don't know why I'm pointing it here. If you just have a backend like this set up, and I just Shift Alt T. I don't know why that didn't work. Shift Alt T. There we go, and then Control S. This is all you need to get it nice and structured. You can use the AI if you want to. You don't need it in this case, but like in our serper.dev backend for finding people, we do use AI, and we're like, filter these results and just give us the person from the results. These types of backends are really, really useful because all you have to do is send it to a webhook. But I hope you found this video useful, and take care.